Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's Conventicle, bringing you guys some more Runescape 2007. And today I wanted to talk about a popular topic lately, which is the new poll, and how part of the poll isn't passing because it's only at 74.9%. And I'm not gonna be one of those people on here who is just gonna beg everybody, even if they don't play the game, to vote yes just because I said so. I'm not like that because I feel that you shouldn't have to just have people from RS3 or just anybody who doesn't normally play the game have to come on and vote yes for something for it to pass. That's not really fair. So instead of just telling people to vote yes because I voted yes and I really want it in the game, which I don't really mind if Corp is in the game in the first place, but if it is going to be added into the game, then the shields should be added along with it. And at this current moment of me making the video, the first question of the poll, which is should Corp be added into the game, is at 85%, and the second question is if Corp is added into the game, should the Arcane, Spectral, and Elysian shields be set at the same stats as they were previously back in 2008, is at 74.9%, and every other minute it goes from passing to not passing, so it all depends on when jagex is going to end the poll to whether it's going to be added into the game or not, because I feel that even if it was at 74.9%, jagex would still want to be professional about it and have it not put into the game. So hopefully it is put into the game, and I'm going to discuss that right now. So if it isn't put into the game, then what kind of drops is Corporal Beast gonna have that would be worth going to Corporal Beast for? Because first of all, I don't even see what makes the Arcane, Spectral, and Elysian overpowered. If somebody could give me a good reason as to why they would be overpowered and they need to be nerfed, then that would be nice, but I haven't really seen any of those comments. So even if they were to pass at the same stats that they were when they were in 2008, we could hold a poll later in order to nerf them a little bit, but like I said, I don't even think they need to be nerfed anyways, because the only shield that was even debatable of being overpowered or not was the Divine, and if Corp was added into the game and the shields were all nerfed, or none of the shields were added as a drop for Corporal Beast, it would be dead content. And if these shields don't pass, then what other item that would be a drop from Corp would? Because if you just said something like, for example, I'm just gonna make something up here, like some sort of new Warhammer that's like the Abyssal Whip that would drop from Corporal Beast, how much do you think that's going to pass? Probably not that much, probably not 75%, because people don't know what they're getting, and they don't want something added into the game that could be overpowered. At least 25% of people don't. So it doesn't make sense to me that 10% of the people who voted yes for should Corp be added into the game also voted no for should basically the shields be added with Corp, because even if you were a PKer and hypothetically speaking these shields were overpowered and you were in the wilderness, how many people do you think are going to be wielding one of those 1 bill worth items in the wilderness and possibly risking it? And even if they were having that as their one protected item, they're still risking something like an AGS or whatever if they're high risk PKing. And also, you are not required to fight these people anyways. I know this might surprise you guys, but you can run away. Wow. Alright, so that is just basically why I don't understand 10% of the people voting yes for should Corp be added into the game, and then the same 10% of people voting no for should the Arcane, Spectral, and Elysian be added into the game without a nerf and with the same stats they used to have back in the day, which weren't even overpowered anyways. So let's get on to the polling system in general and why I think it needs to be changed a little bit. So first of all, 25% of the community is not the majority of the community. We can't cater to what they want. And I do understand that you want to cater to as much of the community as possible and try to please at least, 90% of the community with the updates that you make. However, you can't just do this for every single update. The customer is not always right. I work at Dunkin' Donuts, and I've dealt with some fucking retarded customers. Like, you do not understand, okay? And I would love to tell you guys some stories, but I just don't have the time in order to do that. So, what I'm saying here is not every single customer is right 100% of the time. look at some previous polls that were held. I'm just gonna like think of one, and there was probably at least like 5% of people who just voted no just because they want to be some trolls or whatever, or just because they want to be hipsters or some shit. Like, should there be a clickable run icon next to the minimap? Like, there's probably 5% of people who just voted no for that, and you should just ignore those dumbass 5% of people. Like, I do not understand why people just vote no for something that they know nothing about and just want to be trolls or something. Like, I would never understand, because I just can't be that dumb. And it's pretty stupid how some of these questions aren't or haven't passed because they were at 74% yes votes instead of 75%, which is still a vast majority of the community, and you do not always want to listen to the minority of the community, because I've seen developers that have done that. Basically, look at any console first-person shooter, and you have the reason why that game fell apart, because the developers listened to the minority of the community instead of the majority, and they didn't do the correct updates to the game. So my suggestion is that we need to lower the requirement of a question passing from somewhere between 60 and 70%, because you gotta remember, there is just 5% of the community that I'm just gonna go out and blatantly say it is fucking dumb as shit. Okay, you just should not listen to 5% of the community, because they're the kind of people who are just going to vote no on anything. And secondly, you should have an option such as the I don't care option, and I know that many people have been waiting for this option to be added into the polls for a while now, and the only thing you have to do to add this I don't care option is you should be able to submit your votes even if some of the questions are unchecked for yes or no. So that way it would just not count as being voted upon. I think that makes pretty good sense, and that way we don't have any people voting yes or no for something that they know nothing about. And I know this video isn't going to sway too many opinions, however, I do hope that if Corp is added into the game, then the shields are too, because I don't want such a big update to just turn out to be dead content. And also, I hope that the polling system in general is tweaked in the future, so that way it can cater to more of the majority of the community and what they want added into the game. So if you did enjoy this video and agree with what I'm saying, then please leave a thumbs up rating, and if you have anything to say, then please leave a comment down below. I read all of my comments and respond to most of them. And if you do enjoy watching RuneScape 2007 videos, then please check out my channel. I have a plethora of videos on this game if you care to watch them. So anyways, I'll see you guys later in my next video if you're subscribed. Peace.